So good morning once again. So yesterday we have finished two methods of job analysis. One was job analysis interview and job analysis questionnaire. Today we'll be dealing with the third method, that is task analysis inventory. So basically when we say inventory, it is keeping record of things which we have and things which we do not have. Similarly, in your task analysis inventory, we note down the tasks which are required to perform the job. And since a job is comprising of so many tasks, to get the details of task of each job is difficult. Though you get the information from various sources, to validate it becomes difficult. So what we do is, each task analysis inventory, whenever this is performed, it is consisting of a questionnaire wherein you list all the tasks which are related to that job. And once you have listed these tasks, you will ask the respondents or people, the incumbents, we can say. You will give them this questionnaire and you'll ask them to rate how crucial is each task for the job performance and what is the frequency of occurrence of this task. That is, if it is highly crucial or medium, or the crucial level or importance level is low, they can rate accordingly. And also how often it occurs, whether it is occurring on daily basis or weekly basis, whether you're performing a particular task on monthly basis or that is once in a month. So the frequency and the importance of the task will be rated here. So this, when collected from various people or a similar set of people who are performing the similar set of tasks, you'll understand the importance of each task. So let me show you an example. See, this is task inventory, wherein for one particular department and any particular designation, a number of tasks will be noted down. And once the task is noted down or it is collected from various people, through questionnaires or through interviews. So the next is to rate them based on the frequency and the criticality of the task. So as you can see here, there are number of tasks on your left side, and then there is criticality, which is high, moderate, and low, and the frequency of occurrence of that task, whether it occurs on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or yearly basis. If it is not applicable, they can tick that also. So this questionnaire is given to all the respondents, the people who are associated with a job. And once they rate it, you can collect and you can compile the data and you can analyze which tasks are most important to perform the job and which tasks are least important. And if any task is highly critical also and the frequency of occurrence is daily also, then you can even find out various ways in order to do this task more efficiently, since it's occurring on a daily basis. So this is one use of task analysis inventory. But there is advantage and both disadvantages to task analysis inventory. So the biggest advantage is, once you have collected the data from various sources and the questionnaire is done, it is very easy to collect the data from your respondents and it is very easy to analyze. But the disadvantage, major disadvantage here is the time consumption for preparing or collecting this questionnaire. Once you collect the data and prepare questionnaire, it becomes easy. But once, the pre-math, that is the collecting data, collecting authentic data to make this questionnaire, that is difficult. And also, no matter how cautiously you curate your questionnaire, there are chances your employees might have ambiguity in their mind relating to certain question, and it can be a bit biased. So this is about task analysis inventory. So the next method and very important method is position analysis questionnaire, which is also called as PAQ. This is very important even from examination point of view. It is a compulsory question and it is highly used and it is very effective and it is highly used in all kind of organizations. So this PAQ or position analysis questionnaire, it was developed at Purdue University by McCormick, EJ, and McCam in 1972. So basically this PAQ, it is a very detailed and lengthy questionnaire wherein there are at least 195 items which are listed on that questionnaire. And out of this 195, the 187 items are all related to work activities and work situation. And only 7 out of them are related to compensation issues, and the others are basically, the work behavior, the work condition, and job characteristic related questions. Now, this questionnaire, it is not standard. The questions in them may vary from organization to organization. So basically, all these questions which are there in PAQ, so they can be divided into 6 basic divisions. So first thing is, what they analyze here is, no matter how many elements are there, that is all out of 197 items, mainly they divide them into 6 categories. The first one, so in order to perform a job, what exactly is important for a person? The first one is information input. If a person is doing the job, where and how he gets his information which is required to do his job. Let's take the example of a clerical staff. If a clerical staff has to do his job, so where does he get his information from? If I'm considering this department, which is MBA department, so our clerical staff, he gets instruction from HOD, then administrative block, and the university regulations. So this is where he gets his information which is required to perform his task on daily basis. And then the next one is mental processes. The reasoning, decision making, and planning skills, or any kind of information processing activities which are required to perform the job. So you will make a list of those and how important these skills are. So that will be rated. And the third one is work output. That is the physical activities, the tools and devices which will be used by a person in order to perform the job. Now, if you take our clerical staff, he uses scanner, printer, the computer devices, and the physical activity. He has to like roam around the campus to get the information from admin block. And he should be having the skills like good communication skills, computer knowledge, basic computer knowledge. And, he should be frequently communicating and coordinating between admin block, department, faculty, and the university. So all these things go on daily basis to perform his job efficiently. Then again, see, relationship with other people. In order to perform one particular task or his overall job, how many people he has to report to, or how many people he has to communicate to on daily basis, and what kind of relationship he should have with all these people. So this is also very important aspect to get the job done. Unless you have a amicable relationship with people, the task won't be carried out easily, because you'll have to, every job or every task is interrelated to one or the other department or one or the other people. So unless and until they complete the task, your task won't be completed. It's always like that. They're interdependent. So that time you may, or any person may have to have good relationship with people in order to get his task also done. And the next one is job context, the physical and social context in which the work is performed. So in order to perform the job, what kind of physical characteristics and the job behavior is required for a person. And the last one is other job characteristics, that is the condition, the work environment, you can say, or the kind of activities somebody has to carry out, or the very nature of the job, which will have an impact on completion of the task. Few people who are not happy with the job because the tasks are certain kind, or the nature of the task is not, they're not comfortable with the way the task that is carried out, or the way they have to, move around with people, communicate to various departments, compile the data. They find these things not so appealing. So that time it can cause a problem. So the job condition, the people you're working with, the job environment, and the very task itself, it all has an impact on task. And also the behavior and personality of the person carrying out the task will also have an impact on your job. So these are 6 important categories in which all your 197 elements on PAQ are differentiated. Now, once you have categorized things in these 6, how you will rate them is based on all these 6 categories. Again, they will be rated. So first thing is how frequently it is used, any item or any what we call attribute which is listed there. So the extent of use, so to what degree does a person uses this ability or skill set or the knowledge or any equipment, any kind of characteristics, so how often he uses it. And the next one is the amount of time. If there is any task which is on that list, and you have to rate it based on the number of times you perform that task or that person performs that task, whether it's on weekly basis, monthly basis, or daily basis. That is the frequency of occurrence. And the next one is importance of the job. So how crucial or how critical is that task in order to perform the job. So we had seen, like in earlier example of your task analysis also, you can see the criticality, whether it is highly critical, moderately critical, or it's not critical at all to complete the job. You can rate the job accordingly. And again, possibility of occurrence of hazard. So few people who are working in factories, or you can say manufacturing industries, so there the chances of hazard is more, because it requires a lot of manual labor there, and also with heavy machineries, so chances of occurring are more there. So when that happens, so you can understand the degree of possibility of hazard that can occur, whether weekly basis or monthly basis. So for each task they can rate the hazardous what we say occurrence of hazard also. And not every task is hazardous. There are few tasks which are really hazardous, especially in manufacturing sector, and they can rate accordingly. Then there are few attributes which are such that they cannot be quantified, so they will have special codes. So based on the performance of people and how much valuable that skill set is, based on that they will be rated, and special codes will be used for that. So these are the contents of a position analysis questionnaire. So there are basically 195 items on it, and of them 187 are work related or activity related, few are compensation related, and the rest are the job characteristics or job condition related. And all these items can be categorized into 6 categories. First one is information input, then the mental process that is required to perform the job, the work output, that is the type of activities, tools, equipments the person will be using to perform the job, what kind of relationship he should maintain with the other people he works with, his peers, supervisors, okay, in order to get his task done, and the job context, how much physical and what social context it requires, what kind of characteristics it requires to perform the job, and the working conditions which are required to perform the job. And once we have categorized things in these 6 categories, the next is to rate them according to the extent of use, the amount of time spent on each task, the importance of that task for the job, and the possibility of occurrence of that task which causes hazard, and any kind of special code which is required to be mentioned. So this is about PAQ and task analysis inventory.